Hello, welcome to Colleen's Diamond Painting. Today I'm working on a mandala, and I've never actually worked on a mandala before, so this is something new to me. I'm really enjoying the special drills. They come in all kinds of colors, and they're mostly rounds, but some are bigger than the others. And I thought I'd do a whip and chat where you got to know me a little bit better. I've been painting in 2 years. It will be 2 years December. Well, in December, it will be 2 years. And how I got started on the hobby was I sent my son a message on Instagram, and it was for an advertisement that I had seen for diamond painting. And I said, does this look like it would be fun? And the next thing I know, his girlfriend at the time, Lindsay, bought me 2 diamond paintings for Christmas that year. One was a rose, and I have since framed that and given it back to Lindsay as a Christmas gift. And I have her to thank for my journey, and I'll always be grateful for that. The other one was for it was a painting of a 4 seasons tree. And that one was from Diamond Art Club, and so was the rose. And it's kind of funny because, well, it's not really funny because we spent a lot of money. But when I first didn't know much about diamond painting, I didn't know that Amazon has so many frames that are like any dimensions that you can think of. And I brought it to Michael's to be framed, and I got it matted, and it ended up costing something like $90. So now I do all my framing myself with frames that I buy on Amazon, and it makes life much easier and much cheaper. So a little bit about myself. I'm a pet lover. I have 2 dogs, a pit bull named Vogie, and a pug named Pugsley. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Vogie is actually 13 years old now, and you would never tell. He has a lot of energy. He keeps up on his hikes. He's very active. He gets depressed when I don't walk him, and I mean really depressed. But we live in Nevada, and it's really hot, and unless you go walking in the morning, you're not going to be able to get your walk in. So my other dog is a pug, and he came to me from a rescue situation. He was living outdoors in Southern California, and he arrived with the name Pugly, which I didn't think that was very cool because it had ugly in the name of it. So I didn't want to confuse him too much. That's him gagging in the background. I didn't want to confuse him too much, so I changed his name to Pugsley. And it seems to have worked out. And my son was the one that found Pugsley for me. I was looking for a dog from a breeder at the time, and most of the breeders were out of the area. They were in California or, God, sometimes states and states over. And I was going to pay someone to drive me the puppy from the location where the dog was bred to my home. Only I wasn't having very much luck. I think there's a lot of breeders that are scam artists out there, and they want you to pay money, but they don't necessarily want to deliver you a dog. So I was having no luck, and my son came across an ad in the classifieds that said pug puppies for sale. So he contacted the people, and they said they didn't have any puppies left, but they had a 2-year-old dog that was living outside. And I had just lost my pug named Penny, and so I was grieving over that. And for my birthday, my son picked up Pugsley. He was completely free. He came with a collar and name tag, which I had to get a new one. So he made it into our home. And at the time, we had a Chihuahua, and his name was Jay. And he was a little black Chihuahua. And Chihuahuas are one of my favorite breeds. My favorite breeds are Pugs, Pit Bulls, and Chihuahua. Not necessarily in that order. I like them all the same. So, Pugsley made a new addition, and we lost Jay in February of this year due to a kind of bizarre situation. He was 13 years old, but he was perfectly healthy. I mean, perfectly healthy. And then one night, my husband hears this thud. And he thought someone was breaking into the house. But as it turns out, it was my Chihuahua, and he was having a seizure, and he was hitting the vent of the heater, and that's what was making all the noise. So he kind of was out of it for a while, and we watched him real close, and he kept having seizures. So we brought him to this emergency vet in Reno, and they put him on seizure medications, and the seizure medications were basically no help. And this emergency vet costs a fortune. They charge by the hour. And anyway, when it was Monday, we brought Jay to our regular vet, and he said, I don't think he's going to pull out of this one because his legs are hyperextended, and I was noticing that he was walking around the house kind of aimlessly, and he didn't really respond to his name, and he just didn't seem himself. So the veterinarian recommended that we put him down, and that was on 2/22/22, so it's a date that I'll never forget. And we haven't replaced our Chihuahua yet. Not that replace is a good word. We haven't made room for a new Chihuahua. When the timing is right, we will find the right Chihuahua at a shelter. Because all my dogs are from shelters or rescue organizations. And so that's a little bit about me and my love of pets. I also have a cat, and his name is Smokey. And he came into our lives after we lost our cat, Mango. And Mango is an orange cat, and Smokey is all gray. And Smokey we rescued from the Reno Animal Shelter, and it was kind of funny because I was the one that picked Smokey out, and he was declawed, so I knew he would need to be an indoor cat. And my husband was looking at some older cats, and he wasn't even paying any attention to Smokey. And of course, don't you know it, Smokey is in love with my husband, and he doesn't give me the time of day unless I happen to be feeding him. That's about it. So my love of animals started when I was a child. I had my first dog when I was 5 years old. Was a yellow lab, and her name was Saffron. She was a very good dog. Unfortunately, she developed cancer, and she wasn't that old when it happened either. She was, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 6 years old. And the vet recommended that Saffron be put down, and nowadays they don't recommend things like that for dogs with well, her leg would need to be amputated, so she would have had 3 legs. And nowadays, as we know, dogs get along just fine on 3 legs. How many dogs have you known with the name Tripod? So from a young age, I used to collect animals, if you could call it that. I used to go fishing, and I used to catch catfish on just a simple stick and a string. And we had a pond in our backyard, and I would put the catfish in there. And one time, I lured a swan with bread from a place called Blanchard Lake in New York all the way to my house. And then I noticed it started hissing at me when I ran out of bread. So I stopped feeding it, and it went away. I've had rabbits, guinea pigs, birds, rats. I'm trying to see if I've had tropical fish tanks. I've had goldfish tanks. I've had quite a few pets. The largest animal I've ever owned was a horse. I owned 2 of them, actually. And being that we live in Nevada, there's a program that they do for the prisoners, and they adopt out wild Mustangs. And I acquired a Mustang who we used as a trail horse for simply $1, if you can believe that. It was just to transfer the title. And we used her as a trail horse. And then I also had a very expensive horse, a Arabian. And at the time, and this is many years ago, she was $2,000. So I can't imagine what she would go for these days. But The upkeep got to be too much for me because I was a single mom, and I actually had to end up selling my horses. And I did the same thing where I sold them. I didn't make a profit. I sold them for $1 just to transfer the ownership, the title, to the new owners. So, anyway, let's get back to diamond painting. So I have completed, if you've seen my other YouTube video, I have a portfolio, and then I have several that I have framed on my walls. I would say I have a good maybe 13 paintings. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but I am not a fast painter. I like to take my time with paintings. And you're paying a lot of money for paintings, and I just don't see the point of rushing through just to get a finish. I think that you should take your time and enjoy the painting. I've been in, I think, 3 events so far on Instagram. I've been on DP, Diamond Painting for Pets, and I actually won a prize for that. I won the week 3 giveaway, and that was from Diamond Painting Anonymous, and there were all kinds of goodies in there. My favorite thing being a pen. I've participated in ABs in August, which another friend of mine hosted, and that was a requirement that the painting had to have at least 4 special drills or AB drills in the kit. And that's my painting of the Asian woman who is in the gray dress and an almost all red background. And you can see that on my YouTube channel. And now I'm getting excited because in November, Diamond Painting Anonymous is hosting DP for vets, not veterinarians, vets the soldiers. And my dad was a vet in Vietnam, so I always hold vets close to my heart. I know he struggled a lot when he got back, and I'm all for showing support where I can. And that will be my 3rd event. So I'm pretty excited about that. And in between that, I have a couple paintings that I'm working on. I'm working on a glow-in-the-dark jellyfish. And if you want, you can see this on my Instagram page. I'm at I Dream of Diamond Painting, all lowercase. And I've posted all my pictures of all my paintings on there. And if you message me, I'll be more than happy to message you back. What I like so much about the diamond painting is the support that I've received from the community. I never knew that there was such thing as diamond painting, much less that there was a diamond painting community. And we all love to just support one another in the work that we do. And I find that very refreshing. I'm originally from New York. I was born in St. Albans, Queens. And we moved to Syracuse, Syracuse upstate. And my grandparents lived on Long Island. And in the summers, we would stay with them in a place called Seaford, Long Island. Eventually, me and my mom moved to a town called Northport, Long Island, and I can only imagine what the prices are now. But when I was a kid in the 70s, I'm aging myself, wasn't that expensive, and it certainly wasn't that crowded. Because apparently Long Island is just one major part of the city now. I spent some time in California. I never really liked California. I never adjusted to the move. It wasn't so much the schools were hard, there was a lot of bullying. And this is back before the days where bullying was considered a thing. And I was picked on quite severely. And I didn't like that, obviously. So, after the LA riots, I decided it was time to move myself and my family out of California. And we settled into northern Nevada. The nearest towns to us would be like Reno is 30 miles and Lake Tahoe is 15 miles. And Lake Tahoe is beautiful. And oh, that reminds me. So these paintings that I'm working on, this jellyfish is glow in the dark. Sorry, there's a hair stuck in my tray. It's from a company that I am a affiliate with, and it's called Crafties brand. And if you use the code Colleen, COLLEEN 20, all in capitals, you can receive 20% off your order. Now I know that there are a lot of associates out there. So if you don't use my code, obviously consider using someone else's, so that you don't have to pay full price. Crafties is quickly becoming one of my favorite diamond painting companies. There's an artist there that I really like, and her name is Sybil Art. And I have, I think, about 3 of her paintings. I think all in all from Crafties, I have about 7 paintings. I think they're pretty reasonable price-wise. They run about $45, which if you compare to some of the bigger diamond painting companies, which I'm not going to name, it's a bargain. They are a little bit smaller than you can get from some of the bigger diamond painting clubs, but I'm not a huge fan of big diamond paintings. I feel like I can never get them done. Oh, and speaking of events, I did one other event. I did the JBG G-Along this year in, I think it was July. Is that right? I think that's right. That was hosted by Emerald and Fairy Lights and Crafting with Shay. And the only problem that I had was that my painting kept running out of certain colors of drills. All in all, I ran out of 15 drills. They're not 15, 5 drills that I didn't have enough of. And so I had to wait for the drills to slowly come in. So I didn't get to finish. And now I have that one kind of set aside. because after this mandala and after the jellyfish, I plan on working on a custom painting that I had made from Dreamwork Designs. And it is a picture painting of me and my dog, Jay. I'm about a quarter of the way done with it. I started it and then it would make me too sad and I would have to stop working on it. So once I can pull my emotions together, I'll be able to work on it some more. My husband tells me to think of all the positive memories that I have, but it still kind of chokes me up a little bit. This October, or September and October, I'm working on another custom diamond painting that I got from Dreamwork Designs. And this is an anniversary present for me and my husband because it's a big anniversary for us. It's our 10-year anniversary. We've been together for 12 years, but we've been married for 10. And it's a picture of me and him while we were hiking in Lake Tahoe. And I swear we look like hippies in the picture. It's really funny. But in the background there's trees and it's really pretty. I forget the dimensions of it, but it's large. It's definitely large. So anyway, I like to section off my paintings using release papers. It's a new method that I just kind of learned. I decided to buy release papers off Amazon one day and give them a try. And then since then, I will never go back to any other way of sectioning off a painting. It just seems to be my favorite. It's what works for me. So I have no need for cover minders. I do collect some pens. My favorite pen company is a place called O'Brien's Custom Turning. And they are on Etsy. They are reasonably priced for a custom painting, diamond painting pen. And they are out of Pennsylvania. So they're from the United States. It does take some time to order because each one is custom made. And I would say I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 diamond painting pens. The one I'm using right now is currently my favorite. It's a multicolored I guess it's a 4-bump pen, and I can't multi-place with anything higher than a 4-placer. So I'm always amazed at people who can use 12 placers, and I don't know how they do it. 4 is the highest I've ever gotten. I don't like 3 because it seems to chunk up or something. Can you hear my pug snoring in the background? I must be boring him. After this color, I have one more color to go. So I'm almost done. I do want to keep this whip and chat kind of short because it's the first one I've ever done. And I'm a little nervous. I plan on doing some unboxings, but I'm waiting to get a better camera mount. The one I have, there's a stand that goes from the floor to about waist level or a little bit higher. And the problem with that is that you can see me and you can see the stand. So this one that I'm using is a side one, and it has a light on it. But the only thing is, I don't think it would be good for unboxings because you wouldn't be able to see the whole image. So my son sent me a picture of a camera mount that looks like it might be a little bit easier. And if he doesn't get that for me, then I will probably get it for myself. This is a glow-in-the-dark drill. I added some glow-in-the-dark drills for my mandala. So I'm going to switch out colors, and I'm going to call this my first whip and chat complete. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please try to be nice. I'm very new to this. I'm trying to venture off a little bit more and be a little bit more brave and do things other than just my quick kitting up and my speed paintings. So please leave me some comments. Let me know what you're currently working on and how your day is going. If there's any information that you'd like to know about me, please feel free to ask. I'm pretty much an open book for the most part. So I have some aspects of my life that I keep private, but you know, if it's a diamond painting related question, I'll be happy to help with what I know. I don't consider myself an expert, being that I've only done this for going on 2 years. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye-bye.